So good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us. It is the last day of February, if you can believe it. The month or the year is now a sixth of the way over. 2 months down, 10 more to go. First thing I want to do is thank you all that participated in the survey that was sent out. We had about a 75% participation rate with our survey, which is really great. We have gotten some great feedback, and it's been good. We'll go through that and have some information and some feedback as we gather all of that information, but really do appreciate the participation and the comments that were left as well. We'll be sending out a survey probably twice a year, once in the spring and once in the fall. So look forward to seeing that again in about 6 months. Want to announce to everybody our advisory board for 2019. We have 8 people that sit on our advisory board. They serve about 3 years. There are some people that have decided to not participate and have been dropped off. We also have a couple of people that have been on our advisory board a little bit longer, mainly because they sit in one of our offices and we need representation from these office. So the people that are on our advisory board for 2019, Carrie Wallace, Colette Peck, Danielle Rocket, Donna Peacock, Jamie Jackson, Catherine Burns, Kay Merrill, and Lisa Miller. So if there are any times that you want to send out something to be addressed by Andavo Travel and you don't feel comfortable sending that directly to me or Meredith or Seta, you can get that to one of those representatives to bring up with the advisory board. One of the things that was brought up to us from our last advisory board meeting was the need for a resource guide. So we have been working on that, and we will have more to present to our advisory board in our meeting that will be coming up in March. And we'll go through that and then have the results of that out to everybody, but wanted to let you know that that is something that came as a result of our advisory board. It is something we're working on, and we'll have finished product. Actually, it will probably never be a finished product. It'll always be something that we will continually be working on, but that will be coming in a few months in the future here, just a few months. So Mike Cameron had our State of the Company meeting in February, and at the State of the Company meeting, he let everybody know what the company focus is for 2019, what our objectives are, what we're focusing on and looking at as we get into 2019. What he announced to everybody, not that it's an announcement, just clarification. Our company goals or values are fairly simple. 1, to create value, and 2 is to value people. Beyond that, we'll have objectives that we'll work through, and our objectives with everything that we do, every project that we take on, every initiative that we do, we want to have these 3 focuses addressed in those. 1 is a digital experience, 2 is a consultative experience, and finally, a personal experience. So as we're looking at rolling out different products or services, we'll be looking with those objectives in mind. Do they meet our core values, and are they aligned with one of those company objectives? Now, in going through this whole process for Mike and Camille to get down to what these core values are, they went through several different processes. One of them is really the Simon Sinek book, Start With Why. Hopefully you guys can see that and it's not reversed. But this is a great book. Many of you have heard Simon Sinek talk at different conferences. He's got some great TED Talks on YouTube. A great exercise in looking at your values and why you do what you do. So if you've not looked at that, I recommend that you go through for your personal brand and revisit your why. Why are you doing what you're doing? How are you doing what you're doing? And does that align with your values? Now, a couple years ago, we had Allison Miller at Andavo Mart as our keynote speaker, and she spoke about this too. And she had an analogy of a car with the 4 tires and aligning your values. And if one of those starts to diminish, you might have a wobble in your car because one of your values is not aligned. And take that time to step back, see if what you're doing aligns with your values, how you're acting, how you're speaking with your clients, how you're reacting to different triggers that come up day to day. So go back and think about your values, how that aligns with your why, and why you do what you do. Another thing that, we just this past year at Andavo Mart, we had Neen James, and I have quite the collection of books on my desk this morning. So we have Attention Pays, the book that Neen James wrote. It is a great book, and I've been going through and looking at some different pieces, just reminding me of things that Neen went over in her presentation. And a lot of things hit that personal experience. They hit the consultative experience. How are you paying attention to your clients? How are you listening? And what are you doing to have a consultative experience with your clients? And how are you personalizing your experience with them, using their name multiple times throughout the conference or the call? Now, we had a example that came up just the last couple of weeks. And Diane Bean, she put this on the Andavo Community Connection in Facebook. She was working with Caravan Tours for one of her clients, longtime client. Unfortunately, one passed away. The widow contacted her and let her know that she received a beautiful floral arrangement from Caravan Tours. Now, that's personalized experience. They took the time to send a floral arrangement to someone who had to cancel their trip, hadn't traveled with them before, but what a great testament to personal experience. They now have a client for life. That person is going to come back to them. So thank you, Diane, for sharing that. I think that was a great example of a personal experience, personal attention, thoughtful attention, and intentional attention. So I know Neen had kind of put out for us to have different challenges in putting attention in the forefront of what we do. So I want to just open it up for a little bit and see, is there anything that you have put into practice as a result of Andavo Mart? Is there something that you have done? Jump in there. We'd love to hear what experiences people have had in result of Neen's presentation about attention. Don't be shy. Well, I can tell you one thing that I have put into practice is sending out birthday cards. I had really stopped doing birthday cards, and really because social media just became so easy to go on Facebook and say, hey, happy birthday. I wasn't sending birthday cards even to my sisters. I was sending birthday cards to my parents, but that is something that I have started doing again this year, making sure that I am writing out small handwritten notes, sending out to people. After Andavo Mart, I sent thank you notes to our sponsors. So that is one thing that I have put in play. And so again, I'll give just a little bit of time if any of you want to jump in and say something that you have put into practice. Anybody making a conscious effort to use your client's name more frequently in conversation? That's an easy thing to do.
I'm just going to jump in here because this is super awkward. This is Marissa Smurthwaite. I'm sorry, I jumped in really late, so I didn't feel like I could answer any of your questions because I kind of caught the last end of your question. But
Oh, that's okay.
you're just
So,
talking about
yes,
maintaining client
so
relations and
well, what
marketing.
we had and Marissa, you're brand new, so you weren't
Yeah.
at Andavo Mart. We had a speaker at Andavo Mart who spoke about attention
Okay.
and the different ways that you can pay attention to things. One is personalized attention, intentional attention. So using your client's name throughout a conversation to make that personal connection with your client. Another is in the intentional attention is handwritten notes or following up with different things just so that there is that personal connection continuing through the relationship.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I've with some of our clients, ours is maybe a kind of particular travel agency, a little bit different from everybody else's, but I have these big onboarding calls with my clients, and they have all different needs because we're creating these experiences that are long term for their entire family. So they're staying a few months in a place across the world, and they all have different needs, whether they need to learn the language because they're supposed to be living and having these cultural exchanges, or they need help getting their kids enrolled in school somewhere, or they need help with vaccine information because they're going with little kids. Anyway, so my biggest thing is just really listening to all of their different concerns and really what their needs are, what they're wanting to get out of the experience. And then I send, well, right now, since some of them, they really plan ahead. So our next clients that I've been talking with a lot, their travel is a year and a half out, but once a month, I still send them an email with like, hey, try this Spanish language platform. Hey, this is what you'll be looking for your passport staff. This is what you'll be looking for your vaccines. Anyway, so
Great.
just listen and following, responding to their needs, basically.
Okay. Great. So then you maintain connection with them through the entire process, not
Right.
even after you have booked the transactional part of it is done. Now you've still got the relationship part that is going. Great. Thank you,
Right.
Marissa.
Yeah,
Has anybody else put something into practice or have a system that you use that has been successful for you in having an intentional attention with your clients? Guys are all going to be quiet today. That's all right.
Well, this is Gigi.
Uh-huh.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Depending on where they're traveling to, if it's an area that I'm like a destination specialist on it, I have postcards of that destination. And so if they do a big booking, I'll send them a postcard with a picture of where they're going, just saying thank you for your booking. And then when they get home, I'll send them just a welcome back, either postcard or phone call or email, something like that. But it's kind of fun. They can put the postcard on the refrigerator if people still do that.
Yeah.
And kind of have something to look forward to.
Oh, that's great. They get the visual of where they're going and have that to look forward to. That's great. Great idea. All right. Well, one of the other books that is sitting on my desk, because I told you I've got a lot of books sitting on my desk, is The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. It's an oldie, but a goodie. One of the things that I looked at in this book fairly recently is the time management matrix. It talks about how you're spending your time and making sure that the time that you're spending is in the right areas. So if you have this book, go back and look at that. If you don't, I'm happy to take a screenshot of this. In fact, I will, and I'll send it out to everybody. But it talks about our urgent, non-urgent, and then important and non-important tasks that we do, and how much time we're spending each day in each of those quadrants. And making sure that your time is aligned with what you consider to be important and value of your time. So 7 Habits, Highly Effective People. Again, it's an oldie, but still has a lot of information that rings true. Another book that I've got on my desk that we've been working through with the leadership team is a book called Measure What Matters. This is one that talks about it's OKRs, objectives and key results. So what are the objectives that you want to accomplish, and how are you going to measure that you have accomplished those? This is something we're adopting as our company, the entire agency across all divisions. So as we are looking at our objectives, and again, going back to that digital experience, consultative experience, and personalized experience, we'll be going through all of our objectives and our key results and making sure that everything aligns with that, and then using this book as a resource for setting those up and getting our measurements, whether it be monthly, quarterly, annually. Something else that, tool that you could have in your tool belt for how you look at your business and what you want to achieve this year, and then how you'll go about measuring that you have achieved that, or that you're struggling with something, you need some additional resources. It's a great way to track and monitor what you've got going on. With that, one of my objectives is to have reviews with each of you. So as the year goes on, I'll be reaching out to you to schedule a review. We'll go over your production with Andavo. We'll talk about your business plan. We'll talk about and your business plan could be that you want to grow your business. Your business plan could be that you want to cut back on business. And so we can make sure that we're working with you to achieve those goals. And I've got a chat that we've got a line that is not muted. So if you could just take a look and see that your lines are all muted so we don't hear any background noise, that is just helpful to everybody. Thanks. So another thing that we can look at is Allie has been putting together a marketing plan. It's a very in-depth look at what your brand, your business, and what you want to achieve. So I encourage anybody that's interested in growing their business to work with Allie on that marketing plan. And she'll have more information that she'll get out to people as well, but feel free to reach out to her if any of you are interested in looking at the marketing plan. But those are things that we'll be looking at in your review and talking with you about what your objectives are for the next year, what you're planning on achieving, and then how Andavo can help you in achieving those goals. So it has been 20 minutes. So I want to keep this pretty short and give time for any questions. So if you guys, if anybody has something that they want to bring up, you can unmute your line and we'll do open discussion now. I just got a chat. Can Allie send us all the example of the marketing plan? Yes, she's still developing that and getting it all together, but as she's got that finalized, she can have that sent out to everybody. Well, Allie, I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't speak for you. Is that something that you would be able to send out to everyone? Allie said, yes, I can. Great. So we will get that out to everyone as well. Any other questions or comments? One thing I would like to get back from everybody, and not necessarily on the call, but if you would send me feedback on what type of training opportunities you'd like for Andavo to provide. We've got some examples would be what we do, travel port training, like Apollo training or WorldSpan training on the list. International ticketing is something else that we will do. We'll have John Millsaps do something on international contracts. It's been suggested that we have something on Outlook and how to organize your Outlook. I know everyone is not on Outlook, so if those of you that are using Outlook would like that, then we can provide something there. Something that came from our Facebook live chat with Neen was tools that you use to stay organized, and there were some different examples of tools that people use. So we will we can go over some of those as well. So I'd like to get feedback on what it is that people would like to see offered by Andavo as some professional development or technical training. And again, you can send that to me via email. Don't need to bring that up on the call right now. But if anybody has anything else that they want to bring up, questions, comments? Guys are a quiet bunch today. All right, well, again, thank you all that participated in the survey. Really appreciate that the survey results have come in. I believe the survey is still live until tomorrow. So if you got the survey and have not completed it yet, please go ahead over the next couple of days and complete that, because we will have it turned off tomorrow. And then I'll compile the results of the feedback that we received and let you know what our action plan is on all of those. All right, well, thank you guys for doing this. And again, we'll be doing this every month. So if there are any topics that you want me to cover, let me know and we'll add that to the agenda. Thank you.